What is up, everyone? My name is Michael Pohl with BayAreaAquatics.com, and today we're going to be talking about my trip up to the Sacramento Aquarium Society to go see Dean Tweeddale give a presentation on wild fish collecting in Peru. Alright, so I was going to make this video as more of a vlog, and that kind of changed halfway through my trip. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I've been a member of the Sacramento Aquarium Society since December. It is July, and I made my first meeting this last week, just because it's about 2 hours north of me, northeast-ish. Yeah, somewhere up there. It's about a 2-hour drive from me, and it's on a Saturday night, and I tend to work Saturdays and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, finally made it to my first meeting, and I am super, super glad I did. The speaker was Dean Tweeddale. You know, if you watch Aquarium Co-op or any of the main fish channels or anything like that, you probably know who he is. His nickname is Master Breeder Dean, and super, super awesome guy, super good at speech, super good experience. He's really, really good at giving that presentation, and I really enjoyed it. The other thing I was really excited about was going up and kind of experiencing my first Aquarium Society like ever. I've never been to a fish convention or meeting or anything like that, and there's not too many fish people in this area that like to get together and do anything, at least in my town. My local fish store is kind of small. There's not too many people that come in and out of it. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting to actually meet in person versus be on Facebook groups and YouTube and things like that. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I like the group and why, you know, I think aquarium clubs are cool. And then I talked with the president a little bit. I'll throw that clip in here towards the end and talk about my kind of experiences going to the club. So first off, when I got to the club, I didn't really know anyone there. There's one or two people that I knew through Instagram or through YouTube that I had messaged that were coming, but I knew weren't there yet. I got there early. I got there about 6 o'clock just because I wanted to make sure I found the right spot. I wanted to make sure I could check in and get everything like that. And it was really cool because the first person that I talked to was actually one of you guys, was a subscriber. I wasn't expecting that. And it was cool to kind of run into a couple of subscribers in the group, and I wasn't prepared. I mean, there's a couple of new subscribers from, you know, going through that group, and yeah, and they were super, super helpful. Everyone was super nice, just getting me signed in on the auction table, checked in, made sure I had my t-shirt that I'm wearing now, my Sacramento Aquarium Society t-shirt, making sure that I knew how the meeting was going to go and answered all of my questions, and I really appreciate it. They were super, super helpful at the start. Super friendly people. You could pretty much walk up to anyone you wanted to and talk to, and I really like that. I'm not a big people person. I don't like doing mixers and things. I own a business, so I'm a member of Rotary and Chamber of Commerce's and several of them. So I go to mixers at least twice a week, at least once a week, if not twice a week, pretty much every single week, and I hate it. I don't like going into rooms with people I don't know, but this was a really easy experience for me. I really enjoyed it and met a lot of good people. Another thing that I really appreciated this, and I mentioned it to the club president, was the group was a little younger than I was expecting. You know, being 22 and being, like I said, in Rotary and Chamber of Commerce's and things like that, I'm used to being a very young person. Like in my Rotary club, the next youngest person is like 35. Chamber of Commerce's, I tend to be a very young face, and that's kind of what I was expecting in a fish group. I wasn't sure why, that's just kind of what I was. And there was a lot of kids, there was a lot of people that were younger, around my age, and I really liked that. It just makes you a little more comfortable. You're not kind of that young random kid there. And so it was a good environment. I really liked that. So like I said, the meeting technically started at 7. A lot of people get there sometime between 6, because that's when you got to check in all the auction items, is between 6 and 7. And a lot of people just show up early and just socialize, eat food, do things like that. And after that, they kind of go into like a new member introduction. They introduce everyone that's new there. They do announcements, things like that. Then they bring up the speaker. Like I said, we had Dean talk, and it was an awesome speaker. There's some good speakers coming up as well. So, you know, if you're not a member or you're in the area, be sure to go out and check them out. After the speaker finished up, they went ahead and took a little break, and then they went into the auction and raffle and bowl show part of it. The bowl show's kind of off to the side, and they announce the winners at the end. You can bring in different fish depending on the category for the month. That's really cool. And then they do the auction, and this was actually one of my favorite parts of the club. It was interesting. I've never done a fish auction before, so if you're a member, you get this special, or not a special, but you get a member bidding number, and if you're a non-member, you're still allowed to come to the meeting. It doesn't cost anything, and you can bid, but you're what they call a cash buyer. And so after you bid on something and win it, you have to pay for it immediately, versus if you're a member, they kind of give you a running total and then you just settle up at the end of the meeting, which is kind of cool because it lets you stay in the auction. You're not like trying to sign off and bid on the next item or whatever. And they had 100 and something, I think they said 150, 160 items this time, maybe a little more. It was a big meeting, so it's not typical, I don't think. Again, this is my first one, but it was definitely cool. It had everything from fish to plants to fish tanks to filters to books to all sorts of stuff. It was really, really cool. I ended up bidding on an Aquarium Co-op t-shirt. It was red. I don't have a red one, I have a black one, so I figured, hey, might as well get the red one, and I got it for $9. These are my two auction slips here. So this is the one for the t-shirt. It was $9. And then I bought a bag of Java Fern Narrow Leaf, and it's actually in the tank already if my camera will focus. There we go. And I got that for $14. It was like a quart-size Ziploc bag worth of Java Fern Narrow Leaf, just some really nice young ones. And so hopefully those will grow in here pretty quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a clip right now of kind of one of the auctions, and you can see you pretty much hold your number up until it gets to a price that you don't want anymore, and they're just kind of bouncing around. And so you wanna get your number up early so that you're kind of in that starting point versus, you know, other people bouncing around. And it's interesting. Like I said, I'll show you guys the clip.
This one is a Rainbow Shiner pair. So we've got a pair of Rainbow Shiners, a native fish, PMF 002. And so these are cool native fish that you can keep. Start out at $2. And there's a photo right there. He just happens to have it. Look at that. So there we go. Rainbow Shiner, very pretty, beautiful animals. $2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 going once, going twice. Over here. Oh, 7, sorry. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 going once, going twice, and sold.
It's really cool because some things go for like $2, right? I mean, I saw fish, like bags of fish, bags of plants and all that go for $2, $3. Some of them go for a little more, but you know, things that were going for really good prices. Someone bought a sump for $2. That was an interesting buy, and but again, it was $2. Another cool thing about the auction is during the whole auction, you're kind of sitting there chatting with people and getting that camaraderie and talking about the different items that are up. And there's all sorts of cool fish that I've never heard of before, or plants that I've never heard of, and talking with people that are there and like, oh yeah, this fish does that or does this. And it's cool. And there's a pretty wide arrangement of styles of fish keeper at Sacramento, at least. I'm assuming most fish clubs have that. And it was cool. It was really, really cool to just be able to talk to fish people. I had a really, really good time. I've been kind of putting it off and not as like a priority just because I'm not a big people person. Not that I don't like people, I just don't like, you know, interacting in big groups like that with people I don't know. And I wish I hadn't put it off for so long. I really enjoyed myself. I really wish I would have gone a lot sooner. But I'm here now, and like I said, I'm a member, and I don't plan on not being a member for a long time. After the meeting was over, I went ahead and snagged the club president, Rich, for a couple minutes and just talked to him a little bit about why you should join an aquarium society and a little bit about my first experience. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll that interview now.
My name is Richard Byerly. I'm the president of the Sacramento Aquarium Society.
And so what's the benefit of joining an aquarium society like this?
I think that the biggest benefit is camaraderie around the fish hobby, and I think you saw a lot of that tonight, that we have a terrible time. People talk because they're enjoying themselves, they're enjoying talking to people about fish, and we're just sharing this hobby that we're all passionate about. We also have a lot of unusual fish that go through our auctions, and I think that's just tremendous.
As well as plants and other things like that.
Plants, fish, snails, you name it, aquariums, dry goods, books, lots of really nice books went through. And then the speakers, you know, really bring a lot of bang to the auction or the meeting, is because they're sharing information and they're sharing their passion with the hobby. So I think it's just a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and today we had master fish breeder Dean Tweeddale, the same Dean that's on Aquarium Co-op's channel quite a bit, out of, I think, Washington, right? And he talked about collecting fish in Peru, which is really awesome. It was a really good presentation. Ran a little on the long side, but really, really good information. A lot of people were really interested in it.
And what I thought was really nice about his presentation is that he started a little slow, but he actually kind of built. And so I I think his energy grew as he went through the presentation.
There were a lot of funny parts and things like that.
Yeah. So I think a little long, but it was a very solid presentation.
And so how long has a Sacramento Aquarium Society been around?
Since the early 50s. We're one of the older aquarium societies in the U.S.
And so would you recommend people to look into an aquarium society for them?
I would look into one anywhere, and if there wasn't one, I'd start one.
Awesome. And anything else you want to say?
Anybody in the area or out of the area, please come and visit us here in Sacramento.
We meet the first Thursday, or first Saturdays, not Thursdays.
Yes.
First Saturdays at 6 p.m., right?
Start at 7, but people start showing up at 6 because people just can't get enough.
I got here at 6 and it was already 20, 30 people in a room, and yeah, so it was good chatting with people and everything like that.
Exactly.
So, awesome. I'll put the information in the video or in the description down below. So awesome.
Thank you.
So, like I said, it was a super, super awesome experience for me. I highly recommend checking out your local aquarium club, cichlid association, just aquarium society, whatever it is. I was told a lot of them, even if they're like cichlid or marine or whatever, a lot of them have fish keepers of all types, even if they've got like a specific one. So definitely go check it out. It's cool. You get to meet a lot of people. Worst comes to worst, you don't like it, and you go find another one. But I would highly recommend checking your local one out. And like Rich said, if you don't have one, look into creating one. Maybe talk with your local fish store, see if they'd be willing to host like a get together every month or something like that, and start to get some fish keepers in, and eventually get big enough that you can start your actual aquarium society. And so that would be totally awesome, and I highly, highly recommend it. I'm going to leave the details of the Sacramento Aquarium Society down in the description below, their website. They meet, I believe, the first Saturday of every month, or whatever I said in the interview, at 7 p.m., 6 p.m., something in there. I'll put the, like I said, details down below. And if you're in the area, if you're anywhere close, like I said, it's about a 2-hour drive for me, but totally, totally worth the round trip. Absolutely worth it. And there's people that come in from all over, including the Bay Area, and I highly recommend going and checking it out if you're able to. I will be at the next meeting. I will hopefully be at meetings after that, as many as I can make. And if you see me there, definitely come up and say hi. Like I said, I had a lot of subscribers do that already, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for those of you that did it, and I really appreciate the support from the club and everything like that. So in the comments down below, let me know if you're a member of your local aquarium club, or if you've been to one, or a meeting, or an auction, or whatever. Let me know, and let me know which one you're a part of too. I'm always curious about those type of things. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.